Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Say Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, this lesson is going to be pretty much, it's going to be a quick one, dealing with, like the title say, all right, Babylon have been a golden cup, and pretty much we understand Babylon to be America, who pretty much rules the world right now, of course, through the European Union and NATO. America has pretty much got a stronghold, on the earth, being ruled by, of course, the so-called white man. And we're in Esau's blessing, man. But within his blessing, this man's completely, just destroyed everyone and everything, man. Everything is out of course, everything is out of order. All right. And this is why, as we conclude to the end of his rulership, it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of changes, that's going to be that's being made by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Why? Because a righteous rulership is getting ready to be set up. But as you see from the quote on the screen, it says westernization coupled with globalization has created an affluent and leisured elite that now gravitates to universities, the media, bureaucracies, and world organizations, all places where wealth is not created, but analyzed, critiqued, and lavishly spent. So as I had watched his brother's video, Salakia, of course, it's Moabites. And when you think about Moabites, so-called Chinese or Japanese, they have this, they still hold on to, of course, their ways are through, the gods that they worship, are idols and whatnot. But they still have some kind of customs that they hold on to. Like, they drink tea, their diet is through too, of course, but they're in times past they wouldn't indulge themselves in overeating. Overeating is something that Babylon has taught the world. So something that you see through Esau, Edom going into these other nations and setting up McDonald's. What it's done was, Salak, I'm trying to find the part. What it's done was, make these people obsessed with eating, man. Gluttons. I believe is what the word is. Turn them into gluttons. Of course, the food is all genetically modified, which is poison. So that's automatic, weight gain right there. On top of that, these people are just constantly consuming the GMO foods. So pretty much the ancient ways that Moab would do, is no longer being held or kept by the younger generation. The older generation, as the video I showed you, they're still into, I believe, the Tai Chi. They're still doing that stuff. But the younger generation, they're fat and they're out of shape. Why? Because of the lifestyle that Esau Edom has pretty much, brought into these other nations. They've accepted democracy. So I want to start with Psalms 37 and verse 35. It says, I have seen the wicked in great power, and the so-called white man, which is Esau, is the one in power right now. They're in great power. Matter of fact, he's in his blessings. Like I said earlier, he's in his blessing. Because only Jacob and Esau were prophesied. When you go to Genesis 27, those were the only two nations, that were prophesied to rule the world. Esau is in his temporary blessing. All right, he's in his blessing, but it's temporary. Jacob's blessing is next, which is going to be forever. Second Ezra 6 and 9 tells you that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so this man is in his power right now, and as we can see him in his power, once again, look at the state of the world, the condition of the world. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I saw him, but he cannot be found. Because when Yahweh shall return and remove Esau out of his power, that's going to be the last go around for Esau. This is the last go around for Esau. When Yahweh shall come back and destroy his kingdom, ain't gonna be no more, and eventually the Edomites will be done away with. And we can get that in the book of Obadiah, the 18th verse, where it talks about there shall not be any remaining in the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Okay. So the next scripture I had on the list was Revelation, the 17th chapter, the 18th chapter, Salakia. 17, I'm sorry. I get those mixed up. And it's just another scripture showing you how these other nations have taken a hold on the ways of Babylon, and what has it done for them? It's done nothing good for them. It's completely destroyed them. You see, and this is why, all these other nations are coming to the conclusion that America is the problem. All right? And America got to go. But you know what? This is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai putting in the minds of these nations that America is the problem. Because the Lord is about fed up with this place, first and foremost. The only thing stopping, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai from destroying this place now is that his word must be fulfilled. Because Karagma got to be, implemented into society. World War III got to happen. But when all of that is said and done, you can expect the destruction to come full force. But it says, Revelation 17:1, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. That great whore is America, and her judgment is near, man. In the many waters, it's talking about the people. And I believe it breaks all of this down later in the chapter. I'm just, going over it as I read, Verse 2, it says, With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, And these other nations, they've done just that. They've taken hold of, Babylon's customs, her ways, to the point where they've left off theirs, They're drunk off of the ways of Babylon, which is why, they're staggering right now. They're not upholding their own customs. No, they're confused. Hell, that's what Babylon means. Babylon in the Hebrew is, is Babal, which means confusion. And this is what America's pretty much brought upon the other nations, man. I want to say maybe a year back, you even had Japheth, partaking in, them Japhethites partaking in, the Sodomite agenda, man. They were wearing skirts and everything, bro. Showing you that America has already gone there too, So at the end of the day, the only answer to this plague, this problem, is Yahweh Shai. It says, with whom the kings of the earth, I'm going to read that again, verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. See, once again, that woman being America. That scarlet-colored beast is NATO in the EU, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And of course, the 7 heads, represents Esau's power structure. Starting with the Greeks. Just to list them out: the Greeks, the Romans, Germania Major, Germania Minor. The Spanish, the French, and the British. These make up Esau's power structure. And of course, as it mentions in another chapter, that 8th head, which is, Babylon the Great, which is the extension of Esau's rulership. The extension of the Roman Empire. It says in 10 horns, which is the, European Union. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones, and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. She was arrayed in purple, which purple represents what? Majesty, riches. And America has been made rich. You remember, America's been made rich off of the slavery of the Israelites, of Jacob. We're the reason why America, has prospered this long, and why the so-called white man has prospered, through America, through free slavery. And even up to this point, Jake is the one that's still running this economy, man. The entertainment, the culinary world, anything that has to do with, with flavor, Jake is up there, running it. Because Esau know that, we're the salt of the earth. That's why he uses Israelites a lot of times to do a lot of things, man, to push a lot of these agendas. It says, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, riches. When these nations looked at it, this is what they saw. They saw beauty within Babylon the Great. having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations. But that cup in her hand was full of abominations, man. Wickedness. The LQ plus, democracy, that dollar, and filthiness of her fornication. All right. And these other nations, they've taken hold on this, man. But what the Lord is doing now is he's having it to where the nations are becoming sober. They're realizing that they've been duped. They've been tricked. And in a case, they've been drugged by Babylon the Great. And this is why they're waking up. And once again, the conclusion is we got to get her out of here. The only thing is that, they think that when they get Babylon out of here that they got next, which is not correct. Let's get Jeremiah real quick. Moab think he got next. Moab don't got next. All these other nations, they're going into captivity. But this is let's see, Jeremiah 51. So you gotta be a complete moron, to say that America or Babylon the Great isn't America today. Because in the scriptures, Babylon, when you read the scripture Jeremiah 50, 51, and other different scriptures, Babylon the Great is spoken of in end time prophecy. So if Babylon the Great is spoken of in end time prophecy, what nation, what country is ruling, that we are at the end? Being that we are at the end, because all signs show that we are at the end of this current world. So what country is ruling? What nation is ruling? The so-called white race is ruling via America, Babylon the Great. It's very simple. But I'm looking for the one that says, and this is good too. Jeremiah 51 and 24. It says, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. And this pretty much the Lord saying he's gonna recompense Babylon the Great, for what they did to his people, so-called white people, and you other nations, because y'all had a part too in the downfall of Israel. So you're not guiltless. You're not innocent. You nations, y'all gonna pay too. Verse 25, it says, behold, I am against the old destroying mountain. America is that destroying mountain, because once again, remember, America rules through, the European Union, and NATO, and has been going around the world, destroying these different nations, man, and implementing her ways within these nations. Saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. And remember, mountains are can represent governments within the scriptures. So the Lord's gonna take America down. It's gonna bring this whole down, man. And you best believe once America is brought down, that's gonna be the end, of wickedness. Once the so-called white man is brought down, let's say it like that, because he rules America, of course, but he's in his power. Job 9 and 24. So once Esau is brought down, that's gonna be the end of the wicked rule, the tyranny, that this earth is witnessing right now. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the whole full length.